Alright guys, real quick before we jump into the video, I just want to say, I tried not to make it too long, but please watch the whole thing before commenting. Feel free to leave your opinions, even if you disagree or agree with me, leave your opinions in the comments down below. Obviously try and express them like an actual growing up. And yeah, like I said throughout the video, I'm not attacking anyone personally, it's just my opinions. I saw a few people saying this, so I just had to address it. But make sure you watch the whole video, I go a bit more into detail at the end. But yeah, enjoy the video guys. What's going on guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are talking about MMA / kickboxers in esports boxing club. As we saw from yesterday's announcement, Todd Grisham said, or at least shoot, these 3 fighters.
You use your fists. We've got some of the best crossover combat sports stars coming to ESBC. She might be one of the most aggressive female fighters in history. Cris Cyborg has terrorized women's divisions across different sports around the world. Muay Thai, MMA, and kickboxing, and now it's her turn at boxing on ESBC. The bad boy of kickboxing, Badr Hari, a mean dude with a bad temper. Whether he's inside the ring or outside of it, don't blink, anything can happen at any moment. 92 knockouts from 106 wins. He's got the highest knockout rate in kickboxing history. They call him the best. He is one of Joe Rogan's favorite fighters in the world. Cedric Doumbé, pound for pound, may be the best striker on the planet. And the Frenchman is in ESports Boxing Club.
As you saw, we've got Cris Cyborg, Badr Hari, and Cedric Doumbé. I think is how you pronounce his last name. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I've seen a few people complain about it. Most people are very positive about the whole situation. Esports Boxing Club has been the most positive community I've seen in a long time. And I do always try and focus on the positives. But I thought I'd address the people that have sadness or anger with the MMA and kickboxers being in Esports Boxing Club. If this is your opinion, that is fine. I'm not attacking you personally. I just say, just hear me out. And I think it will make a lot of sense when someone explains it to you just straight up. But with that being said, I'm going to explain why MMA and kickboxers in boxing game makes much more sense than boxers in MMA games for those that think it's stupid or makes no sense. Because I see the main issue being that people say that Esports Boxing Club or Still City Interactive have complained or moaned about UFC / EA having boxers in UFC games such as AJ and Fury. As we saw from that clip, we saw that they have signed Cris Cyborg, a former UFC featherweight champion and the current Bellator featherweight champion. And this woman has got hands. If you've never watched her fight, make sure you do. It is lethal. She's a dangerous motherfucker. Then you've got Badr Hari, the former K1 and Showtime world heavyweight champion with 105, I think, wins to 15 losses with 92 KOs. I think that's one of the highest knockout rates in all of kickboxing. Like for that many fights. And then Cedric Doumbé, he's the current Glory welterweight world champion at 75-6-1 with 45 KOs. I'm just going to start by saying that obviously we have got kickboxers. It's in the name right there. That's all I'll say for starters. So my first point right off the start is there is a huge difference between boxers in MMA games and MMA fighters in boxing games. Like I said at the start, an MMA / kickboxer in a boxing game makes much more sense than a boxer in an MMA game. And I'm going to explain why. And there's pretty much 2 really simple points, and we're going to get straight to the point. One of the sides to MMA or kickboxing is the boxing or stand-up point of view. There is always stand-up. Whether most, if not all, MMA and kickboxers have some kind of boxing or stand-up experience, whether that is from kickboxing, they at least know how to throw hands, they know how to throw a basic punch, they know the basic fundamentals of boxing at least. They know how to hit a bag, they know how to hit a pad. It is part of their current sport. So it's not like they have gone into the game or they're being put in Esports Boxing Club with no stand-up experience whatsoever. It's not like they are putting some random guy off the street who's never thrown a punch in his life into the game. Especially with these 3 that we're talking about here, they have a huge amount of stand-up experience and boxing experience. You know, the 2 kickboxers have over 75 wins and 105 wins. 45 knockouts and 92 knockouts. These guys know how to throw hands, whether it be with mostly kicks. They know how to set up every shot with a punch. They know how to throw hands at the end of the day. And if we talk specifically with Cris Cyborg, people aren't happy with MMA fights. I saw a lot of that being moaned about, well, we need boxers in the boxing. We already have a huge roster of fighters. This is 3 people out of the blue that aren't boxers, strictly speaking. So just be more specific and talk Cris Cyborg, MMA fighter that people aren't happy with. Boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, submissions, everything. MMA has everything. But Cyborg is known for her stand-up. She is known for her hands specifically, whether it is on the ground or whether it is on the feet. She is known for her hands. She throws nasty shots all the time. She is a heavy-handed fighter. She throws nasty shots. She throws good combinations. She's accurate with her punches. She could very well be a great boxer if she wanted to be. But with those 4-ounce gloves on, she is a knockout machine, as we have seen, or at least from what I've seen. She's a knockout machine. You know, yes, she did lose to Nunes, which is a fair point. I saw someone saying they should add Nunes. It's not as simple as just adding them. Chris Cyborg is one of the most dangerous female fighters there is right now actively. Nunes probably at the top of that list, but Chris Cyborg for sure comes in a close second or third, because, you know, when it comes to the feet, she is a beast with her hands. Whereas, and this for me is quite important, Fury and AJ in an MMA game makes far less sense. As boxers, they know how to throw hands. They know how to put together combos. They know how to box. But they're put into these UFC games with the sudden ability to throw knees, elbows, spinning strikes, a perfect technical body kick or leg kick, knees, elbows, like I said. They've also gained the sudden ability to go for takedowns, ground and pound, transitions, submission defense, submissions, a solid ground game on top and bottom. It makes no sense. So people that are saying, you know, well, Still City Interactive complained about Fury and AJ being in UFC when that makes no sense. So why have they done the same thing? They have not done the same thing at all. They have got fighters that have a great extensive stand-up game and put them into a boxing game. These guys already know how to box. If you put any of these guys up against a debuting boxer, all of these guys would win. All of them would win against a debut boxer. All of them would probably win against a boxer that's 5-0, 6-0. You know, these guys know how to throw hands. This is not the same as Fury and AJ going into the UFC, because Fury and AJ know how to throw hands, and yet when they're in the game, they suddenly know how to throw kicks, knees, elbows. They know how to do the Muay Thai clinch. They know how to initiate the clinch, go for takedowns. They know how to be on top and transition, how to be on bottom and transition. If it was real, they would have no clue how to do any of this. They would need extensive training to be as good as they are in the game when it comes to the ground game and clinch that is in MMA. Whereas Still City Interactive putting a few MMA fighters and a few kickboxers into Esports Sports Club makes 100 times more sense than Fury and AJ in UFC, because they already know how to box. All we're doing really from these fighters is eliminating part of their game. We're not giving them anything. We are just eliminating part of their game. We're eliminating their kicks, and obviously for Cyborg, their takedowns and their submissions. For Badr Hari and Cedric Doumbé, we are getting rid of their kicking, their elbows, and their knees. That's all we're doing. We're not giving them anything extra. We're just giving them the boxing gloves and saying, you can't throw kicks. This is not the same to when Fury and AJ get takedowns. This is not the same thing at all. This is completely different. All we are doing is removing part of their game, but they still have the hand speed, the punches. All these guys know how to throw hands, and that's all we are doing. We're not giving them anything extra. We are almost taking away their ability to throw kicks, takedowns, submissions, things like that. So people that say, you know, EA adding Fury and AJ is stupid, so this is stupid. It's a completely different ball game. I hope this made sense, and that's pretty much it, guys. You know, pretty much the long and short of it is boxers in UFC games make no sense, because, like I said, they have to gain a whole new arsenal. Kickboxers and MMA fighters in a boxing game makes 100 times more sense, because all we are doing is eliminating skills they already have and letting them keep the skills they currently own, which is the boxing standpoint. This is not a Ben Askren being added that has no stand-up, and now he's suddenly throwing shots like Roy Jones Jr. This is not the same thing. These three know how to throw hands. They are good at it. They are known for it, and it makes much more sense. It's a completely different ball game to EA adding boxers into MMA games. But that's pretty much all I want to say on this topic. You know, I wanted to focus all on positivity, but this annoyed me when I saw people saying about this, and you know, like I said, I'm not attacking anyone personally. It's just I saw a couple of people saying it, and I just wasn't, you know, I don't think they really understood it. I think the need for a boxing game is clouding judgment so much that people are starting to be like, anything that isn't a top tier boxer, we need superstars, is a disgrace, and they're ruining the game. They need to really understand what these guys are doing. It makes sense. You know, these guys aren't going to have a kickboxing game anytime soon, so why not put them in the game? They're some of the best stand-up fighters alive right now that aren't boxers, so why would it not make sense to put them in the game? Just because they aren't a strict boxer doesn't mean they can't be in the game. I'm not saying we should go and add Damian Maia and Ben Askren and Wonderboy and Jorge Masvidal because, you know, they know how to throw hands. I'm not saying that. These three make sense right now because they are currently the best of where they are, and, you know, they already know how to throw hands. They're already fucking lethal with their hands. You know, they are known for their punches and for their stand-up, so it makes sense. But I'm going to stop waffling. Hope this made sense, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down, let me know your thoughts on this as well. If you don't agree with me, that's absolutely fine. I really have no issue with that. Just let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching as always, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.